Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. And today, I want to do a little special topic here for a quick moment, folks, for you. Even though, folks, I have way too many movies to review. Oh man, my list of stuff to review is really starting to get out of hand, honestly, folks. But I guess I'll just do this video for real quick, I guess you can say. I guess the topic of the video, you can say, is of course going to be about filmmaking in general, and I guess it's not that far off of what I'm trying to do anyway, I guess you can say. And so yeah, I just want to talk about, movies as a whole in this video. So basically, what I'm going to be asking is a certain topic. Of course, it's going to be, it's a rhetorical question, folks. What I'm saying is going to be a total rhetorical question. We all know that making movies is actually quite difficult. It can be absolutely insane on how movies can actually be made these days. The question is everything offensive? It sure comes off like it nowadays, folks. And definitely in recent times, I guess you can say. The first films I'd like to bring up real quick, is the live action 2009 film, the live action version of Blood the Last Vampire, which was released in Japan as Last Vampire. And it was a pretty much international co-production between a French company and the Hong Kong company. The film is a live-action adaptation of the production IG animated film of Blood: The Last Vampire, and it was supposed to be like a horror movie kind of action kind of a film. Give me a break here, really, folks. This film was nowhere nearly that bad of a movie. I mean, okay, it's not perfect by any means, sure, but they're giving this film far too little credit, if you ask me. And yes, I know there's certain individuals that spend way too much time on the computer and these forums, and then you can be complaining about the fact how back in the good old days where men were men and movies about guys and only how guys are the toughest and only for men doing manly things doing for men, and then complain that the film's having a female lead like this movie I'm talking about, and it's gonna be automatically a bad movie just because of that. Up arguments and just claim that they know all the facts when in reality they're just bringing shit out their own ass. First, The Force Awakens and Star Wars: The Last Jedi were falsely accused of being propaganda for feminists, which of course is a total lie. I mean, come on, even the new Star Wars film is not out yet, and it's already getting some shit for the same fucking reason. And that's just totally stupid if you ask me. You guys just suddenly forgot about Princess Leia, who appeared in the original Star Wars trilogy. So there's that. I know. Some people can be really angry and just respond and state that, oh, Rey from Star Wars, she's so damn perfect. She's a Mary Sue. Yada yada yada. There are arguments that Rey is all powerful right away, right from the start. It's just totally ridiculous. Those scenes where it's obvious that she couldn't survive any kind of explosions, like at all, so she ran from it. Actually captured by Ben Solo to have an investigation, and her fight against him wasn't exactly anything easy, really. It was a challenge, alright. Her fight against Snoke was pretty much one-sided because she was getting her ass handed to her. She did seem kind of lost in some ways, which implies that she didn't know everything right away. She did seem kind of lost in some ways, which implies that she didn't know everything right away. Just because she wants to be an independent woman doesn't necessarily mean she's a feminazi. Also, unfortunately, sexism in the church is still alive and well, unfortunately. I'm not blaming every Christian or any other religious group for all this. I know there's some bad seeds everywhere, but it is pretty bad that nowadays even some men are finding themselves speak up against how women should be or whatever. And a lot of people are basically saying that women should be acting a certain way. They should be doing this or that because the Bible said so. Unfortunately, this just rather, of course, is not educational at all. And of course, these kinds of people can negatively affect cinema. Like I would always say, folks, vote with your daughter. You can vote with your money. And these kinds of people, there's lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of people who do believe like this kind of a thing. Many people, and I do mean thousands of people, do believe this kind of a thing to be true, apparently. They can negatively impact cinema as a whole, just because it has a female lead, just because of that alone. So they can go to their cinema and pay and vote with their dollar, so to speak. And of course, this kind of stuff can negatively affect, movies like, the one I brought up, Blood the Last Vampire, which unfortunately just disappeared into obscurity. Hardly anybody's talking about it like at all. People actually wanted to boycott the Pokemon films just because they thought it was teaching revolution and felt that that was a disgrace to their religion, which of course just sounds asinine. A lot of people found the original Godzilla film to be offensive because it was far too political for their liking, as they claim they took offense to the whole anti-war theme. People even thought the Shin Godzilla film was way too scary and way too violent, and of course too political. Again, the other whole political stuff seems to be like really a thing that seems to really bug people, even though they fail to realize that the political nature of these films was always a part of the Godzilla film. Even in the original Godzilla film, it was always have some sort of anti-war thing, and that's one of the primary things that people seem to take offense about. That Godzilla's anti-war, which of course it's just asinine. Yeah, it's anti-war, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad movie. Even other films such as these two would be, heated up, so to speak, no pun intended, just because they showed something about a certain sexual orientation. It's already bad enough that these social justice warriors falsely accuse certain movies being a certain way, when in reality they're not like that at all. It's bad enough that the more recent version of feminism has gone all haywire. I don't mind strong women, but these women don't know how to have equal rights, really. So I've had the Blood movie on DVD quite some time ago, but eventually I did get it on Blu-ray, of course, which was pretty cool. But getting the unedited version is a pain in the ass to find. From what I can guess here, folks, I do think that it might be because they might have found it offensive because they might have mistaken these scenes to be racist in a certain way. And given the time period of this film, I don't think that was what they were aiming for. They just wanted to do some fight scenes in various areas, and that was it. But of course, a lot of people want to take this kind of a thing out of context and just make it into something else that's not really it at all. But that seems to be lots of people's mentality nowadays, and believe that's the right direction of this film, and just take it into a totally different direction, obviously. Obviously, that's just flat out assuming and thinking it's true. Some individuals had even wondered about the original animated version of Blood the Last Vampire. Well, they thought it might have been racist itself too, which of course is just ridiculous. I just don't understand any of this, folks, like at all. It would take stuff and mold it into what they think to be right and what they think to be actually, correct. And that was not the director's intention. You can be inspiring for all the genders, even if it's a female lead. Folks, as mentioned before, I still have like a shit ton of movies to review, and I promise I will get to those as soon as I can. Oh boy, I'd be sweating like crazy. And of course, I do miss reviewing all of these obscured, low budget horror films from the past. Well, folks, as always, thanks for watching and take care. Until next time, oh ye.